How are you all feeling after what happened in there?
Oh God, we're feeling exhausted. We're feeling hopeful that the message for dog owners and victims, especially victims, goes, it's a positive, it's a move in the right direction. But I think that dog owners need to continue to be responsible if they are, and we need the city, the citizens, the neighborhoods, the neighbors, not to hesitate in calling whenever they see dangerous dogs, because you're risking your lives of all your loved ones, your kids, your grandkids, your neighbors, your spouses, and no one knows the impact of any of these injuries until you're there. And I pray that no one has to learn them either, because they're devastating and they change every aspect of your life. Financially, emotionally, physically, your entire life is impacted in a very negative way. The only thing positive is when we find such great support systems that are with us and understand the impacts. And I am glad of the results of this, and I continue to support people who are concerned, who have the compassion for others in the right way.
So are you satisfied with the 6-year sentence?
I hope that is enough. I hope that brings some positive changes to our city. I'm praying that no one ever has to go through this. And 6 years may not be enough. I don't know. I just pray that nobody has to go through this, whether it's a victim or whether it's the negligent dog owner or pet owner.
How tough was it to talk to her, like right in front of her, reading to her, or not even reading? You're just
Actually, it was the easiest thing to say, because I lived this. I lived it. Everything is from my heart, because when she was across the street, I tried to be compassionate. I tried to help our neighbors. But today, when she talks about compassion, it just wasn't there. And I never saw it. Even when she brought in the third dog, whether it was there, whether she brought it in, the fact that she brought that dog to the gated area after we had been through so much, after we were going through all that, getting the legs amputated, getting the infections, getting different prognosis, getting hope, getting my husband moved from one facility to the other, just to get him transferred from the hospital bed to a lab bed took a dozen people, so that they would have to reinsert all the different needles and tubes that they had to insert. They had to put one in the legs, one in the lungs, one a wound vac, a ventilator, and to move a patient from one bed to the other required so many staff members. I remember standing in front of a cardiologist there at the ICU, where you have that glass wall. You can see everything that's happening. I'm standing on the other side of the wall, and I cannot cry. I've got to be strong and tell my husband, whatever it is, we're gonna get through it. And I pray that our city gets the same outcome, that we don't have to go through this every day. We don't have to always be vigilant. We can't even walk in the neighborhood. We can't do our physical exercise because we have to be cautious of any dog coming over and taking your life. taking your quality of life, taking your child's life, your grandchild's life. Why? Because the message is not clear. I hope it gets clearer every single day for the benefit of everyone, not just, you know, my husband says, well, really, what am I gonna gain from this? I've already lost my legs. I say, no, our job is not done. We need to continue to educate people and do this for the next potential victim.
And that's what the city, talking about, we're directly talking to that city, right?
Exactly, exactly, to our city, because we don't want anybody to go through this. No one. Why should you see your loved one in the hospital? And even the cardiologist is stunned at the level of required care. It was, you know, some people say, well, do you just see one doctor? I said, no. There was what do you call it, an oncologist, a cardiologist, a skin care doctor, an infection control doctor. I mean, all of them. All because we didn't pay attention to those pets and those dangerous dogs.
You guys were there with Councilwoman Gavito last year when she introduced a bunch of new dangerous dog measures for San Antonio. Do you want to see more?
Oh, definitely.
That same year, if you remember that interview, Senator Menendez was there also. That same year, the gentleman was actually killed, Mr. Nahara. He was 81 years old. I was 77 at the time. So I was lucky, but he didn't make it. So I think this judge knows that case where that man was actually killed. That same interview you're talking about, Senator Menendez was there, and you spoke the lady's name, the city councilwoman. She brought it up before the entire city council. And I hope measures change. This judge did the same thing as the judge did in the death of Mr. Nara, sentencing instead of probation, and get people attention. You know, other pet owners, hopefully they watch the news tonight and pay attention to their animals. Pit bulls are not good pets. I've read about it ever since this happened to me. Their mind is different than the other dogs. They see a little baby was mauled, right? 1 year old, he was being taken care of by a babysitter. Pit bull got under the door, mauled and killed a little 1 year old. They think it's a little animal out in the yard. He was a baby. That happened this year also. I watch the news every night.
What do you think about the 6 years also?
Yeah.
Her getting 6 years for what happened. What do you think about that?
Well, I think he was paying attention to those previous cases that I'm talking about. And it's all adding up now. So now owners are going to start to pay attention. It's okay to have pets, but you have to have it under control. If they fix holes in the yard for their backdoor neighbor, those dogs, I'm pretty positive now that I see the house, it's right across the street from me. Now that I see it, they probably came from one of their swing doors, the ones their driveway. I'm guessing, because I don't remember much, but now that I see it, I say, oh, they came through that gate. It's my opinion. Because they fixed the holes in their backyard because their neighbor in the backyard complained. And anyway, a very intelligent judge, my opinion.
So justice was served?
I think so. Yeah. My wife said what needed to be said. Y'all put on the news and people hear what she said. That's what needs to be done. The city council needs to do it.
All right. Thank you guys so much.